Consoles, capture cards, how they work and how to work with them. So you're new to capture cards and you want to record your skills in gaming, or perhaps you want to showcase an in-game creation, or better yet, create a movie out of said game. Well, if you're playing it on console, this tutorial's for you. As we all know, we cannot record console footage from the PC without some array of converters. These converters convert the signal that a composite cable sends out to your TV into a format that your PC is able to receive. Figure A. Composite cable. The red, white, and yellow outputs are the audio, and video pins respectively. These plug into composite cable inputs, typically found on the back of your TV. Said converter is often called a capture card, which comes from the technical fact that the hardware has a card of wired sequence of chips within its protective plastic cover. Never pull one apart unless you want to break it, or if you know what you're doing, and as such, you should generally leave it to its own devices. A capture card works like this analogy. It's like a webcam. You know, those cameras that are attached to USB cables that you plug into your PC, except to replace webcam with composite cable inputs. The capture cards merely provide a way to convert the audio and video signals from a composite cable output into what the PC can take, because if you don't have a built-in capture card, chances are is that your PC does not have composite inputs. There is another output/input format. It provides superior quality, though it is slightly more expensive and rare to find capture cards that take that sort of input. Said input is HDMI, a recently introduced in-between to transmit audio and video from a console or DVD or any other hardware really to a screen, often a TV. If you want a capture card that records in HD, high definition, then you'll need to buy a capture card that can take HDMI outputs. Okay, so now you know what a capture card is, but what capture card to get? There are many capture cards, but the ones you want are region specific. If you live in Australia, you'll need a capture card that records in PAL 60 MHz. If you live in America, you'll need their standard of NTSC. And what are those standards, you might ask? Those are the audio and video broadcasting standards. It's a specific format as to what TV can understand from a certain input. Most likely that if you own a console that transmits one audio/video broadcasting format through its composite cable will not work on a TV that displays in another format. Put simply, if you record your Australian-bought Xbox 360 and its audio/video format is PAL 60 MHz with a capture card that has its audio/video format of NTSC American, it will not be able to record in color, and the resulting image will be blurry and distorted and crappy because of incompatibilities. Always check that the capture card you're going to buy records in the right audio/video format. Check your local computing store and ask them what the country's audio/video format is, whether it's NTSC, PAL 60, SERCAM, or other. Additionally, take a look at this map of the world that shows in color what country has what video format. As a final note, to capture cards, usually the more expensive the product, the higher the quality and as such the resolution, as is apparent between capture cards that record only from composite cables to capture cards that record with HDMI cables. Additionally, some capture cards only record the video signals of the composite cable, and will as such only have a single yellow input plug for said video yellow output pin of a composite cable. This provides a problem that you won't be able to record the sound. To fix this problem, you'll need to buy another component, but thankfully this is quite cheap and is often found at your local computer hardware store. Said component is called an RCA converter, 2 females to 1 male 3.5mm audio jack. It converts the audio, red and white, of a composite cable into a microphone output that your computer has an input for. Another problem provided by being able to only put the video composite cable output through a capture card is that when you finally display it on your computer, there is a slight delay due to video signals being converted to a USB format that your computer can take. Chances are most capture cards cannot play without a half-second delay between what happens in the game and to what happens on the screen. This is where composite cable Y splitters come into play. Like the RCA converter from before, it takes composite cable outputs, except this time it's a single input plug. Figure B. Composite cable Y splitter. 1 female, 2 males. Inserting the video pin of a composite cable into the female input of the Y splitter, said splitter duplicates the signal into 2 outputs that you can then plug into both your capture card and your TV at the same time, so that you can record your capture card while playing in real time from the TV just fine. Do the same with your audio, and then you can record your audio of your gameplay through the RCA converter while also being able to hear it on your sound system. The difference between RCA and capture card is that the capture card converts the video format, which gives the visual delay. The RCA converter simply merges the audio into a single 3.5mm audio output. So, you bought your capture card, but you still need to record the footage. Well, hopefully your capture card should come with its installation disc, which comes with all the required drivers for your PC to recognize the new input. Remember, computers are stupid and will often twiddle their thumbs when new hardware are presented to them without specific instructions on how to use them. Installing the correct drivers for your capture card is a necessity. If you have a Windows machine, you need to check if the driver you're installing is compatible with your computer's CPU format, whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit. Installing 32-bit drivers of your capture card for 32-bit machines, or 64-bit drivers for your 64-bit Windows machines. Often though, the installer of your capture card will automatically do the selection process for you, but you need to know these things, else you'll find yourself up the proverbial creek without the proverbial paddle, confused, lost, and overwhelmed by information. Then comes the actual capture process. As we all know, a webcam only ever starts working if you use a program like Skype or Windows Instant Messenger to detect your webcam to send the audio and video signals across the internet to your friend that you talk to. Except this is a capture card. You're not recording yourself or sending audio/video to your friend, but rather console footage through its composite cable, or HDMI cable depending on what capture card it is. This is where capture software, or freeware, comes into play. You can do a Google search of it now and find many free to try, but you'll need to buy examples of said program. But I find that it's easier to use the free alternatives. You will, however, need to understand how whatever capture card program you use. Search the name of your capture software in whatever search engine you use, and try to find some tutorials on how to use it. Such capture software is typically a pricey affair, but certain capture softwares are provided as free, or if you're naughty enough, it could become free. Anyway, the software that I use is actually freeware, and its name is FX VidCap. It outputs AVI files just like the rest of them and are all the same. And that wraps it up. If you got any questions, ask me, send me messages, spam this video with questions as to why I'm not responding, and I will eventually get back to you. Until then, I hope you learn more or less how to use capture cards efficiently and make awesome montages. If you're making montages with music or making machinimas, I'll be interested. Send me a message, of course not on the video, send me a personal message, and I'll check it out when you create it. See you then. The red and white, yellow, blah, 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 blah. There are many capture cards, but the ones you are if you record your Australian-bought Xbox, hey guy, hey look at my Xbox, only have a single yellow input plug for said Some capture cards only record the video signals of a composite cable, and will as such have additionally some captures only record the video segment. This is where the RCA converter simply merges the audio into signal. Do the same with the audio, and then you can record your